Hi, welcome to PMP exam preparation tutorial from Simplilearn. I am CMR Chandra MR, a certified project management professional. So as part of this tutorial, we are going to understand what is PMP, who can get PMP certified, PMP exam pattern, syllabus and exam preparation for PMP, which involves 5 process groups, 10 knowledge areas, 49 processes. And also we will look at finding of Simplilearn about project manager's salary who is certified PMP versus who is not certified. What is PMP? PMP stands for Project Management Professional, which is one of the most popular and recognized certificate in project management. So it serves as a benchmark for project managers all around the globe. So PMP certification examination is offered by PMI and the entire domain area of project management based on PMBOK released by PMI. So PMI is a global recognized non-profit organization which provides project management certifications include PMP. So according to PMI Global Survey, people with PMP certification receives 20% higher salary than those without the certification. So who can get PMP certified? So for getting PMP certified, one needs to have relevant experience and training. There are two eligibility requirements. Option 1, one who holds secondary degree should have 7500 hours of leading and directing projects and 35 hours of project management education provided by registered education provider like Simplilearn. Option 2 holds 4-year degree should have 4500 hours leading and directing project and 35 hours of project management education from registered education provider like Simplilearn. Certificate is valid for the period of 3 years and it has to be renewed every 3 years. To renew the certificate, one needs to furnish a proof of 60 professional development units. So professional development units can be acquired by attending the training sessions, learning and also volunteering in many PMP PMI's initiatives on project management events. The examination fee for project management certification would be 555 USD for PMI non-members and that would be 405 USD for those who are PMI's members. PMP examination pattern. So PMP exam is closed book exam and it is based on the PMBOK guide released by PMI. Exam will have 200 multiple choice questions, out of which only 175 questions are used for scoring and 25 are pre-test questions. The duration of the examination would be 4 hours and there is no negative marking. So PMP certification exam result is declared immediately after the examination. A congratulatory email will be sent by PMI within 1 to 2 weeks while a physical certificate within 4 to 6 weeks. So PMP certification is based on the Project Management Body of Knowledge Guide, which is a collection of standard terminologies, rules and guidelines for project management released by PMI. So PMI ensures regular updates to PMBOK guide to keep it up to date. Currently, the 6th edition is the latest version in the market. PMP syllabus and exam preparation. The syllabus of PMP examination is based on the PMBOK guide as I mentioned earlier. And to understand the syllabus and prepare for the exam, one needs to be familiar with following terms. Those are 5 process groups, 10 knowledge areas and 49 processes, which are defined as part of the project management framework defined in PMP. The examination will be based on the 5 domains. So it includes initiating, planning, execution, monitoring and control and closure. Accordingly, the percentage of questions from each of the domain areas are mentioned here. So 13% from initiation stage, 24% from planning, 31% from execution, 25% from monitoring and control, and 7% from closing. PMP exam is going to change from 1st July 2020. So starting 1st July 2020, the PMP exam will focus on new exam pattern which involves mainly 3 domains, that is people, process and business environment. The number of questions, the percentage of questions in the PMP examination will be like 50% from the process, 42% from the people and 8% from the business environment domain. 5 process groups. The 5 process groups as defined in PMBOK of PMP is initiation process group, planning process group, execution process group, monitoring and controlling process group, and closing process group. So the initiating process group involves the idea and processes needed to begin the project. The vision of the project and the steps to achieve it are taken into consideration. Let us look at few questions related to initiation process group. Which of the following is not true about project charter? Option 1. Project charter is written by the project manager. Option 2. Project charter defines the purpose of the project. Option 3. Identify and authorizes the project manager. Option 4. Project charter is authorized by executive management. Answer is project charter is written by the project manager, because the question says which of the following is not true about project charter. So project manager does not involve while writing the project charter. That is the reason project charter is written by project manager is the correct answer for the question 1. Question 2. Which of the following tools and techniques cannot be used to identify stakeholders? Stakeholder register is the answer. Question 2. Which of the following tools and techniques cannot be used to identify stakeholders? Option 1. Expert judgment. Option 2. Stakeholder register. Option 3. Meetings. Option 4. Stakeholder analysis. Answer is stakeholder register. Stakeholder register is the output of the process identify stakeholder, whereas expert judgment, meetings, stakeholder analysis are the tools and techniques. Question 3. Which of the following is not true for a project? Option 1. Projects are constrained by limited resources. Projects are planned, executed and controlled. Option 3. Projects create a unique product or service. Projects are ongoing and repetitive. That is option 4. Answer is projects are ongoing and repetitive. So it is true for operation but not for project. Question 4. When is stakeholder analysis performed? Option 1. When managing communication on your project. Option 2. When developing the project charter. Option 3. When creating the project management plan. Option 4. When putting changes through change control. Answer is when developing project charter. Question 5. Which of the following is not included in a project charter? Option 1. Business case. Option 2. Risks and constraints. Option 3. Resource management plan. Option 4. Budget limits. Answer is resource management plan. So resource management plan is created during the planning process group in a knowledge area resource management. Planning. The planning process group defines the vision of the project in greater detail. The steps to establish communication between the project team and the stakeholders throughout the project are also taken. Question 1. How well is the project going if the CPI and SPI both are greater than 1? Option 1. Under planned cost and ahead of schedule. Under planned cost and behind schedule. Option 3. Over planned cost and ahead of schedule. Option 4. Over planned cost and behind schedule. Answer is under planned cost and ahead of schedule. If CPI is 1, both cost-wise and schedule-wise project will be going as per the plan. If CPI and SPI are lesser than 1, that indicates cost-wise and schedule-wise the project is not doing good. Cost-wise it is over budgeted, whereas schedule-wise it is behind the schedule. But in the given question, CPI of project, SPI of the project both are greater than 1, which means project is ahead of the schedule and cost wise it is doing very good, means there is some saving. Question 2. What part of the procurement is the project manager if she is in the middle of creating a request for proposal RFP? Option 1. Conduct procurements. Option 2. Plan procurements. Option 3. Control procurements. Option 4. Close procurements. Plan procurements. So during plan procurement process, creation of request for proposal would happen, while identifying the supplier, identifying the one who supplies, the bidder or the probable vendor would happen in execution through conduct procurements, whereas defining RFP, creating RFP would happen as part of plan procurements. Question 3. What is the expected monetary value for the project if there is a 60% chance of $100,000 profit and 40% of a US dollar 100,000 loss? Question 3. What is the expected monetary value for the project if there is a 60% chance of a $100,000 profit and a 40% of a US dollar 100,000 loss? Answers options are $100,000 profit, $60,000 loss. Option 2, that is. Option 3, $20,000 profit. Option 4, $40,000 loss. Answer is $20,000 profit. So the way this is calculated is the 60% of $100,000 would be $60,000, and whereas 40% of $100,000 would be $40,000. So the profit percentage of 60,000 minus 40% of loss, that is 40,000. So difference of that would be $20,000. So answer is $20,000 profit. Question 4. Which of the following techniques is not required to establish a cost performance baseline for projects determined budget process? Option 1, cost aggregation. Option 2, bottom up estimating. Option 3, expert judgment. Option 4, historical relationships. Answer is bottom up estimating. Question 5. What does a work breakdown structure numbering system do? Option 1, determine the complexity of the project. Option 2, helps in automating the WBS using appropriate software. Option 3, provide a hierarchical structure for each WBS element. Option 4, present risks of the project. Answer is provide hierarchical structure for each WBS element. So WBS element helps to understand each levels of the product breakdown, the activities assigned to it, and the efforts required to accomplish that deliverables as a result. Execution. The execution process group involves the members of the team performing their tasks as planned. Although the project plan is finalized, there may be changes in requirements that come from the stakeholders. Question 1. Which statement in reference to a desirable communication model is false? Option 1. Noise should be at minimum level. Receiver must reply to the message after decoding it. Option 3. Receiver should first acknowledge and then agree with the message. Option 4. Receiver should send a feedback message to the sender. Answer is receiver should first acknowledge and then agree with the message. Question 2. Which of the following is not a hygiene factor according to Herberg's theory? Answers options are option 1, salary, option 2, professional growth, option 3, security, option 4, recognition. Answer is professional growth. As per the Herberg's theory, the hygiene factors include salary, security and recognition, but not professional growth. Question 3. Which of the following is not an interpersonal skill to manage stakeholders' expectations as a project manager? Options are building trust, resolving conflict, risk taking, and active listening. Answer is risk taking. Risk taking is a kind of response or a behavior an organization or an individual have towards a specific risks, whereas it is not an interpersonal skills. So interpersonal skill includes building trust, resolving conflicts, and active listening. Question 4. Which of the following should be cooperatively prepared by both the buyer and the seller during the team agreement process? Options are option 1, contract, option 2, contract, procurement statement of work, option 3, request for proposal, option 4, human resource plan. Answer is contract, procurement statement of work. Question 5. There is a software project team of 2 analysts, 4 developers and 3 test engineers. One new test engineer will join the team in 2 weeks. What will be the number of communication channels? Option 1, 55, option 2, 50, option 3, 45 and option 4, 36. Answer is 45. So to calculate this, we will use the formula n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So n refers to number of team members. Now in the given question, there are totally 10 members, that is 2 analysts, 4 developers, 3 test engineers and 1 new test engineer who joined the team. So totally it will be 10 members, 10 project team members. So when n is equal to 10, so total communication channels would be 45. Monitoring and controlling. The monitoring and controlling process group refers to tracking and reviewing the progress and performance of the project. The process of monitoring and control is continually performed throughout the project life cycle. Question 1. The project could not be completed by the accepted deadline. So, the project manager issues a change request. What should the change request authorize? Option 1. Additional resources using the contingency fund. Option 2. Escalation approval to use contingency funding. Option 3. Team overtime to meet schedule. Option 4, corrective actions based on the causes. Answer is corrective action based on causes. Question 2. An activity has early start ES of day 3, late start LS of day 13, an early finish of day 9 and late finish LF of day 19. The activity options are is on critical path. Option 2 has a lag. Option 3 is progressing well. Option 4 is not on the critical path. Answer is the activity is not on the critical path. So if the activity is on critical path, there will be no float. The value of float in critical path will be 0. So in the given scenario, the value of float is 13 minus 3, that is LS minus ES, or 19 minus 9, that is LF minus EF, which is equal to 10. So that is the reason the activity is not on the critical path. Question 3. What does Schedule Performance Index SPI of 0.75 indicate? Option 1, project is over budget. Option 2, project is ahead of schedule. Option 3, project is progressing at 75% of the rate originally planned. Option 4, project is progressing at 25% of the rate originally planned. Answer is project is progressing at 75% of the rate originally planned. Question 4. Which of the following is a conflict resolution technique that may be used in the project? Option 1, withdrawing. Option 2, directing. Option 3, organizing. And option 4, controlling. The answer is withdrawing. The conflict resolution techniques that may be used in the given option is withdrawing, whereas directing, organizing, controlling are not the conflict resolution techniques. Question 5. In the process of monitoring and controlling, which of the following process is equally important to monitor and control? Option 1, quality control. Option 2, change control. Option 3, scope control and verification. Option 4, corrective action. Answer is change control. Closing. The closing process group involves assembling a report of all procedures throughout the project lifecycle. The closing process group marks the formal closure of the project management implementation. Question 1. What is the scenario of the project called when resources are cut from the project? Option 1, extension. Option 2, addition. Option 3, integration. Option 4, starvation. Answer is starvation. Question 2. Which of the following is performed when a project is cancelled or ends prematurely? It describes the reasons for cancellation or failure and documents the deliverables that were completed. Option 1, starvation. Option 2, close procurements. Option 3, post-mortem analysis. Option 4, post-project review. Answer is post-mortem analysis. Question 3. During the closing, the final project report communication are based on options are stakeholder management plan, option 2 communication management plan, option 3 project charter, and option 4 contract. Answer is communication management plan. During the closing, the final project report communications are based on defined communication management plan. Question 4. What should the project manager do among us the following to complete administrative closure? Option 1, update the records management plan. Option 2, satisfy all exit criteria, transfer all deliverables, and store all project documents. Option 3, transfer project resources and update the lessons learned. Option 4, review the scope baseline. Answer is satisfy all exit criteria, transfer all deliverables, and store all project management. So these administrative closures has to be completed while project manager do their activities as part of project management while closing a project. Question 5. The close project or phase process is not performed when option 1 cancelling projects, closing project phases, option 4 reactivating projects. Answer is reactivating projects. Whereas the close project or phase process has to be performed while closing the project, cancelling the projects, and closing the project phases. Whereas reactivating projects at this point in time, the close project or phase process is not performed. So there are 10 knowledge areas defined in PMBOK, Project Management Framework, as part of PMP. So the 10 knowledge areas includes project integration management, project scope management, project cost management, project schedule management, project quality management, project resource management, project procurement management, project stakeholders management, project risk management, project procurement management, and project stakeholder management. So let us go through those one by one. Number one, project integration management. The project integration management involves the coordination of tasks, resources, stakeholders, and other project elements. The project integration management keeps track on how one project elements impact another. So this provides a end-to-end picture of the project, and project manager will perform the very important processes for project manager for managing the projects will be there in the integration management. In a way, project manager is also called as project integrator. Project scope management. Project scope management ensures that a project includes all the necessary steps to meet the project objectives, and the project scope statement may change during project life cycle in case change in the scope is requested formally. So when we say scope of a project, it involves product scope as well as project scope, which means the features functionality of the product or a service or result which is being produced as part of the project will have a specific scope to be accomplished. Accomplish that you need a specific resources, processes, tools, techniques. So this itself will have a scope. So when you visualize the scope of a project, it should be like project scope, what activities, resources, as well as products used to produce the result, defining that part of the scope, and also defining the scope of the result, the product service, which is an unique output of a project. So scope focus should be on the both. Project schedule management. So project schedule management refers to dividing the project into several tasks, each having their deadlines and budget. Project schedule management defines the order in which the deliverables must be completed. So which means all the deliverables, all the activities which needs to be done to deliver that result has to be put in a specific sequence and order so that accordingly project executions can happen. Project cost management. Project cost management includes estimating, managing, funding, and controlling costs in the project. It focuses on managing and monitoring the funds regularly to keep the investors and stakeholders updated. This involves estimating, budgeting, and monitoring of the project cost. Project quality management. So, project quality management refers to the processes of quality planning, quality control, and managing quality throughout the project. The process ensures that the deliverables achieve the defined quality criteria in compliance with the defined processes. Project resource management. Project resource management involves planning, estimating, and acquiring resources necessary for the project. The process of resource management is a must for the effective and efficient growth of the organization. So when we say project resource, it involves technology resource, human resources, and any tools, any documents which are required as resources to be used as part of the project. Project communication management. Project communication management keeps the team and stakeholders informed about the current state of the project. So, communication management is also used to avoid critical failures. A project must have effective communication management. So, communication management plays a very critical role in any project, and wherever there is no proper communication happening in any part of the project life cycle, that may result in failure. So communication is very crucial for the success of any project. Mainly project manager spends 90% of the times in the project communicating. So this itself shows the importance of communication in delivering projects. Project risk management. Project risk management refers to the process of identifying the risk and performing risk analysis on the identified risks. The risks are optimized with respect to the amount of impact they possess to the project. So risk can be positive, which is called as opportunity. Risk can be negative, which can be called as threat. All the risks needs to be identified, and identification of risk, assessing risk, and having risk responses has to happen regularly throughout the project life cycle. It is not the one-time activity. Project procurement management. Project procurement management refers to dealing with outside procurement of project like hiring of subcontractors. Procurement management impacts the project budget and the schedule. Project stakeholder management. Project stakeholder management refers to identifying the stakeholders and finding out what their concerns are. The success of project depends on the satisfaction of the stakeholders. So the stakeholder list involves sponsor, customer, supplier, government agencies, the team within the project management team structure, and anyone and everyone who will influenced, impacted directly and indirectly can be called as stakeholders. It is very important to understand who are the stakeholders, what are the requirements of stakeholders, and accordingly engage with the stakeholders to ensure the success of the project by fulfilling the stakeholder requirements. The 49 processes defined in 10 knowledge areas and 5 process groups are: as part of project integration management, develop project charter, develop project management plan, direct and manage project work, manage project knowledge, monitor and control project work, perform integrated change control, and close project or phase. Scope management processes would be plan scope management, collect requirements, define scope, create WBS, validate scope, and control scope. The processes in project schedule management are plan schedule management, define activities, sequence activities, estimate activity durations, develop schedule, and control schedule. Processes in project cost management are plan cost management, estimate cost, determine budget, and control costs. The processes in project quality management are plan quality management, manage quality, and control quality. Processes in project resource management are plan resource management, estimate activity resources, acquire resources, develop team, manage team, and control resources. The processes in project communication management are plan communications management, manage communication, and monitor communications. The processes in project risk management are plan risk management, identify risks, perform qualitative risk analysis, perform quantitative risk analysis, monitor risks, implement risk responses, and plan risk responses. The processes in project procurement management are plan procurement management, conduct procurements, and control procurements. The processes in project stakeholder management are identify stakeholders, plan stakeholder engagement, manage stakeholder engagement, and monitor stakeholder engagement. Now let us look at project manager's salary. The salary of the project manager who does not have PMP certification, that will be around $91,000, whereas the project manager who has PMP certification has 20% higher salary compared with the one who does not have PMP certificate. It would be around $111,000. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in next session. And if you have any questions, please visit www.simplilearn.com. All the best. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.